Welcome to the Q2 Defender Capital Management video report. Just to start off with a little bit of introduction, we got some newish faces around here, a little bit of changing leadership. I am Taden Van Beek. I am a senior finance and information systems student at Dort, and I will be the president of Defender Capital Management this year.
Yep, I'm Luke Rankin. I'm going to be the vice president of Defender Capital Management this year. Like Taden, I'm also going to be a senior, and I'm majoring in finance, minoring in accounting and economics, and I'm on the basketball team at Dort. Yeah, looking a little bit at quarter two portfolio overview. As you can see, our portfolio went up about 2%, which is a good thing. That being said, the S&P went up about 4%. So we ended up lagging the S&P by about 2%. Partially, that's kind of essentially what's been happening is obviously the Magnificent Seven has been outperforming and kind of powering the S&P a little bit. Obviously, with our holdings, we don't hold NVIDIA, for example. We don't hold Broadcom, and this is kind of not giving us as much pop from the rest of the S&P as we'd like. Obviously, as things kind of shake up a little bit and the market kind of broadens out, we hope that our portfolio will start to get a little more added return and kind of begin to outpace the S&P a little bit.
Looking at some of our biggest movers for the last month, Apple and Google have been in the news a lot because they've been introducing a lot of new AI features, and there's nothing investors love more than AI right now, and they're making a lot of money as well. So it's a pretty unbeatable combo right there. And then NICE and CVS have been having a rough time. NICE is an Israeli stock, so it's been struggling a little bit because of the war there. And they were supposed to be more of a AI company, but that's really just not panning out for them a whole bunch. And then CVS is really struggling with reduced margins because of competitors like Mark Cuban's new low-cost drug business. So they've been taking quite a hit recently as well.
Yeah, so looking at all of our holdings here, just a couple more big over and underperformers that we haven't mentioned yet. Obviously, Nike, as consumers are becoming a little more cautious about what they're spending. Obviously, consumer discretionary and non-essential items are being affected, and Nike's kind of seeing kind of a stagnation in their growth, and they're hoping that the Olympics will help propel them into a good back half of the year. And then looking at an outperformer, it would be Qualcomm, obviously another chip stock. Chip stocks have all been kind of doing very well, obviously, and Qualcomm has kind of benefited from this wave, although it hasn't been doing as well as other chip stocks such as NVIDIA, Broadcom, as we mentioned. That being said, 18% return. We're going to take that any day of the week. Trying to see, yeah, that should be good to go for those.
Yeah, some improvements we're going to make this year. Our DCM canvas really hasn't been utilized much since about 2020, maybe a little bit past that, maybe 2021 as well. So we're hoping to kind of get rid of some of the old files on there. We're running low on storage and just make it a place that people actually want to use and that they can go to learn more about the club and look at past presentations. And another part of that is we're hoping to improve our Excel valuation method. We've got some guys who have done internships with investment firms this summer, so we're hoping to kind of rework some of our investment sheets to maybe make them a little bit more accurate and maybe even give us an easier time evaluating investments. And another part of this DCM canvas rework is going to be just improve file organization. Right now, if someone evaluates a stock, the Excel file is pretty much just stored on their computer, and then maybe 2 months later, someone else ends up evaluating the same stock on almost just the same numbers. So to avoid some of that rework, we're going to hopefully have all the files organized in one space and then keep all these valuations and all these presentations saved. That way people aren't evaluating the same stock twice, which takes a decent amount of time. And then we're also hoping to improve our decisiveness as the year moves along. Last year, I know we recommended a sell of CVS, and we would have liked to sell CVS, but a lot of us felt that we should wait until we found something to buy, and we just never got around to finding something to buy. And then you just saw CVS is down 25%. So could have saved a lot of money if we just had made the decision to sell right then and decided to wait and just find something to buy later, but just been decisive and stuck with our recommendation.
Yeah, and I would say going along with what Tayden said, I think obviously the market's up big right now, and I think obviously that can scare people of trying to invest in this particular climate. With that being said, there are a lot of big companies that are really not doing so hot. So I think at first look the market looks a little scary, but we think there's quality investments out there that we've really been taking our time to kind of initially research as a leadership group, and kind of are really excited to just kind of present those to the rest of the officers. That being said, here are the officer list for 2024 school year. I think one big thing to point out is the introduction of the equity analysts. As you can see on the bottom, we have Lee, Willem Kim, and Zach Kramer assuming those roles. And essentially what that's doing is, as we just talked about, kind of a couple people that are going to really dive into potential stocks that we want to look at, and also just continue to evaluate our current portfolio and what stocks that we might want to either offload because of a particular reason, or we just feel like there's a better risk return stock out there for our portfolio. So I think that's kind of the big thing on these officer lists. Obviously, the whole group is excited to get to know these guys, but the equity analyst, this is a new position. We're really excited to kind of get more quality stocks and just see how it works a little bit. So
Thanks for hanging out to the end of the video. We're excited for this new school year and hopefully we can do a lot of good things. These videos should be coming out monthly once we get into the swing of things. So expect the September video at the beginning of October.